This is going to be the only psychological trading video that you will ever need in order to fully overcome each bad phase in trading and to be finally profitable with Forex trading. Let's go, friends. So, no editing today. I just want to provide you here a lot of value, and I'm also going to explain you right now quickly the reason behind it. I've had today a Zoom call with my inner circle, which is my mentorship program, where I got asked by one of my students how to overcome bad phases and that I should include a video like this into my course. And I asked him, like, for real? Do you really need a psychological video regarding how to control your emotions? And he immediately understood that he doesn't really need that type of video because he already knows the right things, why he's losing, why he's in a bad phase. Because that was my question that I asked him, like, don't you know that? Don't you know your issues that you have? And this is gonna be right now brutally honest. Because most people believe there is some form of tip and trick in order to manage your emotions, which does not exist. Like, there are thousands of videos on YouTube, you're gonna search them up, and you will try to find that one piece that might help you. And maybe after watching 20 videos or something, maybe you will find one piece of advice that can truly help you to manage your emotions better. I'm not doubting that. But I'm just gonna tell you the honest truth because I've been in the same situation and I also still face sometimes those phases where I'm lacking in controlling my emotions sometimes, but I also know the issues behind it. And I think everyone knows that it was not okay to buy now, it was not okay to sell here. It was too early. It was too late. Don't you know these common issues? And you gotta understand the real reason for losing those trades. The real reason, what are you violating at that time? And this is gonna be the magic word, your trading edge. You're actually violating your trading edge. Because if you violate your trading edge, that is far more worse than any losses that you make. And I think you've heard that already, at least I've heard it in my first year or something, that it's super important to follow your trading edge. But I think it takes time and experience in trading in order to really understand this point and also to put it into practice. Because I think in the beginning of a trading journey, now I don't know at what point you are right now, but I think if you are at the beginning, most of you had the same thoughts as I had. And that was actually, I don't care about the 1% risk. I don't care about I'm entering only if this and this happens because I'm going to prioritize my own analysis. And how often have you experienced that you put your analysis above everything? Oh, I see gold moving up today because of this and this and this. I'm going to buy. But are all your confirmations there? Oh, I'm gonna ignore the liquidity here because it's gonna not work out. And then, boom, it goes exactly against you. You will lose the trade. And then in situations like this, you will have a very big ego. And your ego will tell you, hey, my analysis is correct, 100%. I've done that so often. And maybe I'm just gonna go a few more pips in the wrong direction. So don't close me. This is what your ego tells you regarding to your trade, and you will stop doing the right things. You will start actually open up your stop loss. You will start let that trade run in a drawdown, and it's gonna go 1% loss, 2% loss, 3% loss, 4% loss. What are you doing then? And then you have to close it sometime because when you're trading prop firms, 5% are normally the rules for your daily drawdown, so you have to close. So you eliminated in one particular day almost 5%, almost the entire challenge. And if you've done the wrong math, then you're gonna actually even violate that. I'm telling that from my own experience. I've done that so often, I can't even tell you. And it's necessary to do it in order to learn from it at the end, but it's still a process. It's not gonna work the next time. And also on the third time, you will still do the same mistakes from time to time. It depends, of course, also on the market situation that you are and in your own personal environment that you are, because you are gonna only learn from it with time, right? Like there are sometimes you have a losing streak or you have a winning streak, and this just feels sometimes a little bit different when you are in those phases. So it's gonna affect you, and this is why some people are gonna be able to stick sometimes for a very long time to the trading plan, then make 1-2 mistakes, then they get rewarded for that mistake because they won't get the stop loss hit. They will trust that analysis. They don't follow the trading plan strictly. And then at the end, they will be rewarded for it. They will then make money by not following their trading plan. And this is a big thing because this is the worst thing that can happen to you, to get rewarded for something which is not good. It's the same thing, like you're doing something illegal or I don't know what, something which is not good, and then you get rewarded for it. You get a present for it, right? Congratulations, you did a good thing. You make a car accident or something, and then someone comes to you handing you the hand and say, good job, brother. But you know it's not good, right? You know it's not good. And in trading, it's the same with your trading plan. You gotta follow that. And even sometimes, and that's the bad thing, and this is also the psychological thing, which our subconscious mind, is gonna save it. And the next time he wants to do it the same because he got rewarded for it. So this is why it's so important to follow blindly your trading edge. But here, the most important thing right now, and that's the point that I mentioned already, you need to have a trading edge that works. Most of the strategies out there, and now I don't want to be unpopular here or something, and I don't want to bash any strategies out there, but I'm completely honest to you. Most of the strategies out there are not profitable. Even though many try to always tell you that, but trust me, I've done so many back testings, so many, and I've traded almost every strategy out there. It's not even so easy at the end to really have a good strategy. Because when one thing changes, and that is the market volatility, the market cycle, then a strategy might not work as good anymore. And it might change the cycles, the daily cycle, for instance. And we're gonna see the movement which previously happened, just to say, for instance, in the London session, big movements happened in the London session, will now start to happen in the New York session. And then, again, differently, movements which happened in the New York session will happen in the London session or in the Asia session. So there will be a change. And this is something which most strategies haven't implemented in. Just to mention one thing, because there are a couple of things that can change. And you need to have a trading edge which can cover that up. If you don't have that, you can't expect market to be the entire time with your trading strategy to be in the market the entire time consistent. It will fail at some point. And even the best strategy will have those phases when it's not going to work perfectly. But that's why, by myself, my strategy is not automated. I couldn't make it, or so far I cannot make it automated with a bot or something, because there still needs to be an instance who can make a decision and an interpretation based on the new circumstances, such as fundamental analysis, such as market volatility, such as different cycles, and how to define all these things. And this is what makes, at the end, for my own, this is my trading path that I went, because I've realized with many strategies that I've attended that I had always those different market phases, and therefore I had also those bad phases. This is why I've lost in the past. Because you gotta question yourself also why you're losing. Because when you start losing, just to understand that from a psychological level, you are in that one mode where you want to actually survive. It's a survival mode. And when you're in a survival mode, you won't be able to see things the right way anymore, right? Even though your strategy, let's just say, your strategy will work, but you make some interpretation mistakes. That's why you don't, or it's not good if you have too much space of interpretation in your trading plan. You gotta have it very strictly. Like, if A happens, I'm doing this. If B happens, I'm doing this. Like, strict rules, what you have to do. And the only thing you gotta decide is just some small things. But you gotta be able in identifying those small things, like applying the concepts. Like, this is the experience which comes into it. With experience, you will be better to even apply the concepts. And then by applying the concepts the right way, it's gonna be easier for you to make the decision, like, is it now A or is it B, right? Some strategies have A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So many options, like, oh, I could do everything. And then you just put one single thing, like an entry confirmation, which is gonna validate that, which is sometimes too less. Because in some market phases it's gonna work good, in some market phases it's not gonna go good. So you gotta have there a very good approach in putting like layers over the market, because if you have a look at the normal chart, there's nothing there. Like if I go here on the normal chart, there's gonna be nothing, right? You can't spot anything. It's just the normal chart. And when I put layers over it, I minimize the noise. That's the idea. Like for instance, if you see here, the outcome of this trade or this movement was bullish. So you gotta put now layers over it, like an imbalance, like structure, like liquidity, and so on. Internal liquidity, right? All these things. Then you put timing over it to understand, right, from here till here. And this is how your picture gets better and better and better with time. And then your decisions that you gotta make are gonna be minimized. And ideal is if you can only make very small decisions, because what decision do you have to make at the end? It's just buying or selling. Like it's so simple. But the market is so complex that it's not gonna just let you decide that small thing. You gotta decide much more at the end, right? Like also the invalidation level and also the level where you're gonna take then the profit, as well as the specific entry price when you're gonna buy and when you're gonna sell. All right. So hope you get the points that I'm trying to like just be honest to you, because at the end, guys, all of these bad phases and everything just comes by you not having a functioning trading edge most of the times, due to those market phases and market cycles which are changing. Sometimes you're in a market phase which is more volatile, and sometimes when it's more consolidating. You have to adapt, because this is something which you gotta change. Most of the strategies don't work in an accumulation, right? When it's just consolidating and so on, it's not gonna work good. Most of the strategies work very good when it's distributing, when price is moving aggressively. This is normally that works. But when it's moving too much, it's gonna be also too hard to catch the movement and to make the right interpretations. So at the end, guys, the key points for you to understand is that if you don't have a functioning trading edge, you can have the best emotions, it's not gonna work. You can have the best risk management, you will still fail. You can still make 10 losses in a row, even with a 1% risk. Even if you're reducing it, your emotions are gonna grab your attention at the end, and they're gonna actually make you lose your account faster than you think. Everything stands and falls with the trading edge. It's the base of everything, because it's your filter. It's your filter that you are laying over price action. It's the one which tells you which decision you have to make. And just by following a very easy mathematical thing, you will understand that if you have a good trading edge, how your possibilities are, like your chances, your risk reward, you will be profitable, right? But if you have a bad trading edge where you have to make too many decisions, it's not gonna work. And then I said to that one student from mine, when I explained to him the same kind of thing like I did in this video, I said, hey, it's just your fault because you have a trading edge, right? It's something else, like if you have a trading edge or if you don't have a trading edge, right? You also, like when you have a trading edge or you believe you have one, please do the hard work and backtest everything. You gotta have the data for it. If you don't have the data which supports the profitability or can tell you how much profitability it is, you can forget it, right? You can't say you have a trading edge. You can only claim you have a trading edge that works if you can prove that it works. Most traders can't prove that. And that is a big issue. So that's the first thing that you have to do, like build your trading edge, collect the data, and then experience. Gain experience with it, because it's the next part, like applying the filters the right way. Most of the traders, They are watching then some videos on YouTube, ICT concepts, SMC videos. Someone explains them fair value gap or the blocks, whatsoever. They go to the charts, apply it. They think they've done it the right way, like in the video, but at the end, who knows, right? Who knows? Who's telling you that this is wrong? So if you don't have a mentor who can actually individually coach you, show you what you have to do, look after you, explaining you how to apply it here the right way, why the market moved today like this because of this and this and this confirmation, the right interpretation, the right storytelling of the price. If you don't have someone who can tell you that one, and you just do it by some knowledge, by some input from a video, the accuracy of you losing, of you making mistakes is too high. And I think this is the problem for most traders, and they will then have the emotional problems. Because I'm not surprised if your trading edge does not work good, that you're not following it. Because that's the consequences. This is why you're losing. This is why you're risking more. Because your edge doesn't work. Would you risk more if you know your trading edge works, but you know that there is a, let's say, 30% chance you might be right now in a losing trade, like you have a 70% win rate strategy, then you have a 30% chance of losing. Would you then put 100% on the next trade or 20% on the next trade to eventually lose so much? You wouldn't do that. Of course not. You're just doing it because you feel insecure if the strategy will even work the next time. Like, this is your subconscious mind. This is why you're doing these things. And you try to make back your losses that way because you've done previously good profit, you had a good phase, now you're in a bad phase. You believe, hey, with more risk, I can actually outperform my losses, which you can't. Because if your trading edge is not very high win rate, it's not going to work. And one last thing regarding risk management in this, because it's all combined, right? Like risk management, emotional control, and trading edge. But at the end, as I just said, the first and most important thing is your trading edge, your strategy, your rules, right? Your implementation of everything, right? Like your daily routine has to be in there. Everything has to be in there. Step by step, everything what you have to do from beginning till end. All your examples, your scenarios, everything, right? And you're collecting there more and more data, the more time you spend with the strategy because you get more experience. And then you follow it with your strict risk management, right? With 1% risk, for instance. Like, you don't need more. You will be super profitable with a 1% risk. And then emotional control will be here to sustain this entire thing. And you will do it because if you know, hey, today I lost 1%. Tomorrow I make 2% back. Then again I lose 1%. Then I make 2% back. Then the next day I make 2%. And then again 2%. At the end you will make big money, right? But if you don't follow that and your trading edge is so bad that you will lose 4 out of 5 trades, and then on the third trade you risk more, this is why you lose at the end. And it's not because of your risk management only. It's more than likely because your trading edge doesn't give you the preferred win rate, right? Because you need a high win rate strategy, I would say. A 20% win rate strategy will not really make you happy, I would say. This is a big myth with high risk reward. But I can make another video regarding this if you want to. Let me know in the comment section if I should make the truth and revealing the truth of risk management and high risk reward. Because I can tell you there's so much things and it's gonna actually blow your mind. How risk management, how important that is, how to use that, and how you cannot make 1 to 100s, 1 to 10s, 1 to 20s on a regular basis. Even though many traders out there are claiming that. I have the proofs, I have the mathematics on my side, and I can explain you specifically why that doesn't work. All right? So, to the conclusion of everything. Now I think you understand how important it is that trading edge is why you lose at the end, right? Those bad phases are easy to overcome if you have a trading edge that you can trust. For me, every single time when I'm in a phase like this, and I know I can go very quickly in a phase like this, but I also have those good phases when I make profit after profit and flipping my accounts, for instance, the personal capital, payout after payout, and so on. I know those phases, but I also know those phases when you lose a funded account, when you blow your trading account, when you go in drawdowns, and so on. At the end, trust is the most important thing. Because even though right now for 1 week, or let's say for 2 weeks in worst case, you will have a bad phase, with the right risk management and with the trust in the strategy that you know, the strategy will get you out of it, you will never, never lose. You can't lose, right? It's the this confidence with the strategy that you have to build. For me, it's always like this. Like I know for my own now, it's not gonna be for everyone, but I know for myself, hey, I have the best strategy out there. That's what I'm telling myself. Maybe I don't have the best out there, but for me, it's the best. For me, it works. It gives me my 5 to 6 figures every month. Every month. This is why I have trust in. Even though 2 days are bad, which happens, I know the third day, gonna make everything back. And this confidence can only be built with the experience, with the strategy itself. But if you hop right now to the next one, watching this YouTube video, buying this mentorship, and so on, you have so many impressions without having the entire knowledge of it. You don't have the full spectrum of a certain strategy by just applying one simple thing. Because maybe you apply the wrong way. That's the thing that most people make it wrong. And maybe you don't even have the entire information that you need in order to make it work the way and how this guy on YouTube or in his mentorship claimed. And that is the hard reality. And trust me, I went through these things. And I had to discover a lot of things in order to come to my strategy at the end and to make it work for me in all market phases and to give them the mechanism it needs to for me to make the right decisions in which cycle we are and so on. All right? So I hope that this makes sense and that now you finally understand how to control your emotions because the trading plan controls your emotions. With that being said, guys, hope you have a nice day and that you enjoyed this video. If you're looking for a good mentorship, something that you can trust, the link is in the bio, guys. You can check out the Inner Circle. We do their step-by-step course, video forecast every day. I'm sharing every day my trade that I'm looking for, 2 Zoom calls per day, and a phenomenal exclusive Discord community with like-minded traders. See you guys in the next video.